This lesson is going to be looking at angles that are inside of a triangle. Before we look at those, just a review from the different types of angles that we had in the previous lesson. We can use those different types of angles to find or determine what the measures of the other angles in the picture are. So we know that that little square symbol in angle D means that it's 90 degrees. Angle D and angle A are across from each other, so that would make angle A 90 degrees as well. Same thing with the 40-degree angle. The 40-degree angle is across from angle C. They're vertical from each other, so that would make angle C 40 degrees. So I know then that the 40-degree angle, angle A, and angle E all make a straight line, because if I highlight it here in green, the 90-degree angle is there. The 40-degree angle starts where 90-degree angle stops and goes to here, and then the angle E starts where that one stops and then ends here, so they make this straight line right here. So then I know that if I'm going to take the two that are together, so 90 and 40, and add them together, I get 0, and then 9 plus 4 is 13, so that's 130. And I know that an straight angle or a straight line is 180 degrees, so I should be able to subtract that 180 minus what we have, which is 130, and get that's 0. 8 minus 3 is 5. So then angle E has to be 50 degrees, and angle B then is across or vertical from angle E, so it's 50 degrees as well. And I forgot to mark it, but that square symbol in angle D, we just talked about it, was 90 degrees. So triangles. Triangles we can classify in two ways. The first way we can classify a triangle is by their shape, or the lengths of their sides. So the lengths of their sides is what determines the shape of the triangle. But if all three sides are the same, we call it an equilateral. If two sides are the same, we call it isosceles. And then if no sides are the same, we say that it is called scalene. The other type of way we classify triangles is based on their angle measure. Triangles always have three angles because they have three sides, but if all of their angles are less than 90 degrees, we can say that the triangle is an acute triangle. If one of the angles is exactly 90 degrees, then it is considered to be a right triangle. And if one angle is over 90 degrees or bigger than 90 degrees, it's considered to be an obtuse triangle. So let's take a look at something that we know about a triangle. If we take all three angles of a triangle, no matter what kind of triangle it is, whether it's right, obtuse, acute, equilateral, isosceles, or scalene, it does not matter, but all three angles together always will add up to be 180 degrees. So if we take a look at this particular triangle, I know two out of the three angles, and I want to find the value of the third, the missing one, the x. So if I know all three of them together are 180 degrees, I can take the two that we know, which are 75 and 45, and I can add them together. So 5 plus 5 is 10, carry the 1. 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 4 is 12. So together, their ones that we know are 120 degrees. I want the whole thing to be a triangle, which it is, so it's 180 degrees, all three of them together. I already used 120 of it, so I can subtract those values, and that should give me the missing value. So I have 0 plus minus 0 is 0, 8 minus 2 is 6, and 1 minus 1 is nothing. So then that means that the angle X is 60 degrees. The 8th grade version of that involves variables and an equation. So it says the measure of three angles in a triangle are 4x degrees, 3x minus 3 degrees, and 5x plus 3 degrees. The first step says write and solve an equation for x to determine the measure of each angle. So I would have my angles, all three angles of a triangle, what we know is that they add together to make 180 degrees. So if I add all three angles together, I could say that 4x plus the next angle, which is 3x minus 3, plus the last angle, which is 5x plus 3, is equal to 180 degrees. So I can then solve it by what you see in the video, combining like terms. My like terms are the terms with the same variables and the same exponents. So I can put together 4x, 3x, and 5x. 4x plus 3x is 7x, plus 5x is 12x. And then I can put together my regular numbers, which are 3 and negative 3. And those are opposites, so that just leaves me with 12x is equal to 180. And then to get rid of the 12, I can multiply it right now by x. I can divide both sides by 12. They cancel out here, and then I'm left with x, and then is equal to 15. So it's 15 degrees. So I solve for x. Now I have to use the values of the angle. So I have 4x, I have 3x minus 3, and I have 5x plus 3. And I can use those to figure out what my actual angles equal. So 4x means 4 times x, and we just figured out x was 15. So 4 times 15 is 60. So the first angle is 60 degrees. Then I have 3x minus 3. So that means it's 3 times 15 minus 3. 3 times 15 is 45 minus 3, which gives me 42 degrees. And then my last one is 5x plus 3, so it's 5 times 15 plus 3. And then if I multiply 5 times 15, I get 75 plus 3 gives me 78 degrees. So a way to check if you're correct in this is if you were to add all three of those together, you should get that 180 degree mark that we set our equation equal to, because it's a triangle. So let's double check. I have 60 degrees, 42 degrees, and 78 degrees. If I add them together, 8 and 2 make 10, carry the 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. 7 plus 4 is 11. 11 plus 7 is 18. So we get 180 degrees, so we are correct.